Everyone with a gun is not a bad person. I'm just saying. Just because I have a gun doesn't mean I'm a criminal.
I understand that.
All right.
We understand it. We all understand it. You said that multiple times.
I know.
We understand it. Okay? You all right?
School shooter ruined that.
An Ohio teenager claims school shooters ruined the privilege of bringing weapons to school after he's arrested for bringing bullets and a rifle to his high school. When he's taken into custody, he argues there's no law that says he can't bring a gun on school property.
You're just arresting me on a charge that's made up. I know.
It's not
you
made,
are, though.
It's not made up.
It's made up.
It's been in
it's
law
made
for
up.
a long
No,
time.
it's made up, dude.
We make up things.
It's
we
made
don't
up.
have the authority to make things up.
On May 2nd, Pepper Pike Police in Ohio were forced to put the high school on lockdown when a student found a bullet in the cafeteria. They quickly found the culprit because he wasn't exactly hiding what he was doing. 18-year-old junior named Nolan Rosen, who quickly admitted to having a gun and gave a very strange reason as to why he had it.
It's about a bullet you found on the gun, right?
I want you to worry.
Oh, okay.
Somebody find something you know about?
Because I had a bullet in my pocket, but it wasn't like it's not like I'm planning anything.
Oh,
I
okay.
dropped
Wait
it
a
on the ground.
second. You okay?
But I didn't know I'm not allowed to bring a bullet.
Okay. Okay, why don't you come? He's gonna come.
Wait, I'm not like a school shooter.
Rosen is that.
Right? Well, I don't bring it because they're school shooters. I carry it around with me because it's extra safety caution. I know that if I have it, I don't have to worry about being attacked or anything like that.
Okay. Alright.
It's the only reason I carry it around.
That could always still happen no matter what, right? Like,
Yeah,
I know. Like, we can't control everything in life.
yeah, I know.
And it gets scary sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure, even for us.
It's just I'm not a big guy. I'm like really small, so if someone's really big, I'm gonna run away. I'm not gonna try to fight them. But then if someone's like actually trying to hurt me, I know I need some sort of weapon because I'm like really small.
Did that ever happen?
Okay, I do not support what this kid did, but I'm not a hypocrite, so I have to say this now. As someone who was walking around earlier with a shirt that said "Don't talk to the cops," that had a picture of a cop with a line through it, I have to say, if you ever find yourself in a situation where a cop is trying to get information out of you, shut the hell up. Don't open your mouth. Do not speak. Call an attorney. Do not talk to a police officer without your lawyer present. Ever. Do not do it. That kid should not be talking to the police. Unfortunately, what's done is done. He doesn't have an attorney, but he apparently thought himself to be one because when the officer told him that he's being placed under arrest, he continues to argue that he hasn't broken any laws.
Surely you can imagine having a gun on school property is a major issue. So I am suspending you for 10 days with a recommendation for expulsion for weapons, specifically a gun, and disruption and misconduct. I have to go fill out the rest of the paperwork.
I didn't disrupt anything.
The whole school was on lockdown, buddy. I'd call that about as big of a disruption as you could have.
Alright, sorry. Well, the problem wasn't bringing the gun. The problem was I dropped the bullet in the hallway. That was the problem.
The problem wasn't that I brought the gun to school. The problem is I did a bad job covering up my tracks. That's my emotional support gun, please. Please, sir. And it is funny to watch him be really shocked that he's getting expelled as the principal tells him that. But like I said, and as you'll see in this next video, he really doesn't think he did anything illegal.
It is against the law to bring a gun into what's called the safety zone or a school, right?
That's subjective.
What is subjective?
But you consider it like a safety zone.
Okay. So now's not gonna be the time to contest it right now, okay? So basically what I'm telling you is we're gonna end up charging you, okay? And you're 18 years old.
There's no law against that. Bringing a gun on the school property, there's no law. Like, there's no statute.
I'm telling you there is.
It's a policy, not a law.
No, there's a state law in Ohio. There's
No,
also
there
another.
isn't.
Okay. So like I said, we just talked to a prosecutor. So here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna come with us. We're going to handcuff you until we get you outside to a cruiser. Because then a lot of people going on, we want to save you any kind of.
There's no law against bringing a gun. It's a policy. There's no, like, show me the statute. There's no statute.
I told you before, I assure you there is an actual law. We'll show it to you when we get to the station. I mean, it's not, we're not making it up. We're trying to.
I think you are making it
No,
up.
we're trying to accommodate you.
I'll do you a favor.
In a good way.
I'll do it for you right now.
But you said safety zone. So how am I supposed to know this is a safety?
Just take a breath.
You're just arresting me on a charge that's made up. I know.
It's not.
You are, though.
It's not made up.
It's made up.
It's been in
It's
law
made
for
up.
a long
No,
time.
it's made
We
up,
wouldn't
dude.
make up things.
It's
we
made
don't
up.
have the authority to make things up.
Rosen
I could think of several good reasons why it should be illegal to bring a gun into a school, but they're so obvious, I feel like I don't even have to explain them. But this story was covered by WKYC, and they reported that Nolan Rosen, whom police told 3 News they believe meant no harm, is currently out on bond with an arraignment date set for July 5th, as he is charged with a fifth-degree felony as well as a first-degree misdemeanor. He could face more than a year in prison if convicted. Now, you might have gathered this from his pleading, I suppose, in the video. He didn't bring the gun into the school. He left it in his car. But actually, Miranda, that was something that happened to me when I was in high school. Someone had a gun in their car and bragged about it, and we were on lockdown all day. I think it's really hard to watch the idiocy of this kid. I don't think he was going to shoot anybody, but I mean, God, he really didn't know anything.
Yeah, he definitely thought he had a gotcha moment with that. You're arresting me on fake charges. I can bring a gun to school. I looked it up before I brought my gun to school, which is a whole nother level of, he intended to bring it specifically to school and looked up the laws about, didn't look it up very well, but looked up the laws about whether or not you can bring a gun onto school property. And then was definitely like, I'm not in trouble for the gun. I'm only in trouble because I got caught with it by letting a bullet drop out of my pocket. And he definitely thought he was in the right. And he was talking about how, it's for me, it's to defend myself. I'm doing the right thing. Well, who else thought they were doing the right thing in their situation? Probably every other school shooter. No one ever thinks they're wrong and then they go and do an action. They all think that they're in the right. So you can't really use that I could use that as an excuse for any behavior that I exhibit in public. So it is pretty funny though, that he thinks that he can just say whatever he wants, and he's really got the cops, no parent, no lawyer present, just straight up giving them all of the information they need.
Right, exactly. He really he made it so the prosecutors will have to do no work. He established his intent. He knowingly brought a gun onto a school property. He even said that there was a situation in which he was planning on using the gun. So
described the exact situation. He's like, this is when I would use it, just so you know.
Right. So he's definitely going to be found guilty. So just to, again, word to the wise out there. If a cop sits you down to have a seemingly friendly conversation, he's gathering evidence. Shut up, don't talk, and get an attorney.